Literally subconsciously. No one thinking further on this.
लेक्चर सुटल्यावर ह्या दुसऱ्या दरवाज्याने जायचं, सामने से नहीं जाने का, लेफ्ट साइड से डायरेक्ट शॉट.
ये मेरा रिक्वेस्ट है, वॉशरूम में प्लीज कीप क्लीन. ये जनरल रिक्वेस्ट है, मैं किसी को भी स्पेसिफाई नहीं कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि मैं आपको होने के बाद दूसरा कोई यूज
Yes. Somebody else was there. But the English after no, only the other presentation on English, only English. Okay. Other science and all, 5 into. So they are for maths and science, maths and science. So you 3 years. Yes, we have only one part in that, you know. Industry stuff. What all things we have studied? What are industries? What are the factors that how industries are in the industry, agricultural industry are interrelated? Then what is the contribution of industry to national economy? Then another thing is that industrial location, what are the factors they have industrial location? Industry market linkage we have seen. Then classification of industries. On the basis of raw materials, how industries are classified, we have studied. On the basis of capital investment, how that classification. On the basis of ownership, how industries are classified. On the basis of bulk and weight of raw materials and finished goods, how classified. Then we have studied. We are just recollecting only. Any part, if you are having doubt, you can ask. It's just any part you are having doubt? No. Okay. Agro-based industries में textile industry हमने पढ़ा. Textile industry में cotton, jute. Then we have seen what are the challenges faced by cotton and jute. Then we have seen that which industry, sugarcane industry. Sugar industry we have studied, and why it is shifting from north to south and west region. Then what are the challenges faced? Then we learned about mineral based industry. So mineral industry में iron and steel industry हमने पढ़ा. Then what are its features? Why it is called a key industry and all. Then integrated steel plants and mini steel plants we have studied. Why most of the industries, iron and steel industries are located in Chotanagpur Plateau. Then automobile industry, information technology industry. Clear? We have made a small revamp of whatever we have learned. Now we are going to study about industrial pollution and environmental degradation. Yes, what discussion? Yes, what discussion? So big. Okay, let us उसका समझ जाने दो. Now, this industry scores 4 types of environmental degradation or pollution. So, what is pollution? You have heard about pollution, no? Degradation of environment. See, pollution is that a condition in which unwanted things are added that cause damage to the environment. When there is unwanted things added, then that cause. One example is that air. When unwanted things added in the environment, we get smell. Then we know that the factories release poisonous gases. So that is unwanted. There's a balance which we can bear. So if that balance is disturbed by the addition of unwanted things, so that causes pollution. Which are the 4 types of pollution? See, so pollution definition, what is pollution definition? It's a condition in which unwanted things are added. So unwanted things, when it is added, the balance get disturbed. So anybody have textbook? Give. Okay. Pollution, see, you write that I am indicating that sentence. Pollution is a situation in which unwanted things are added to the environment which result in the degradation which results in the degradation of the environment. There are 4 types of impurities. What is that? Air, water, soil, and noise. See, 4 types of pollution is there. Let us see one by one about how it is polluting, what are its effects, or how it affects the human beings. First, air pollution. It is caused by the presence of high proportion of undesirable gases. What is that? Caused by So can you tell what are the desirable gases? See, these are desirable. That is, if something else is in more proportion, that may be harmful. See, carbon dioxide is there. If the proportion of carbon dioxide is more, then that is harmful. Understood? We know that if oxygen is not in the body and carbon dioxide is there more in the body, the people become bluish and die also. Understood? Because of suffocation. Oxygen is not there. So that is why every day they used to check that oxygen level. Understood? So that is what this is unwanted gas. We are releasing it. If the amount of this unwanted gas is more, then that is harmful. Now, the second one is that airborne particulates. Okay, airborne particulate. What is the airborne particulate? Means particles. So it include what happened? What to make you to laugh so much? Solid and liquid particles. What all things are there? Dust. Can you tell the other one? Perfume. Fume. Perfume is that I am telling that perfume is also liquid particulate. No, same when we are using perfumes for leaving that bad odor, but that is causing harm in it. That is what no. Yes, yes. Some doctors are there. When that is we are taking children to the doctor will tell, don't use any perfume. Then mosquito repellents are there, no? So that one also not to use. So like that, so that is harmful. So some of the things that, for example, you know that camphor is there. Camphor is used for this thing. So many आरती के लिए use करते हैं उससे ज़्यादा अभी आजकल ना that for smoking that one that in order to remove the mosquitoes and all, there is a device which is attached with the electric this thing. So when it is spread within that room, then mosquitoes will be drive out. But that is also causing some people they cannot this thing their body won't react respond to that, it will react to. So that is what are some things which we are taking as that a good that purpose can be harmful. So perfumes. Then you told about the smoke, no? Mist. Mist. Smoke.
Mist is good. Mist.
What?
Mist water.
Spray mist. What is that? ये क्या है? We are you are talking about that early morning that one is coming. So when the environment is filled with that what is that unwanted gas, it will be mixed with that droplet. It will create a situation of smoke. Understood? So much harm is created because we cannot smell properly. Suffocation will come. Visibility will be affected. Okay. So these all things are that whatever is there, you have already studied about the smoke, then spray mist, etc. etc. So, okay. Now another thing is that smoke emitted from chemical see when we are traveling by road or rail from this area, MIDC area, we can get like that smell that chemical factory से वो जो release होता है ना वो gas का smell. So chemical factories, paper factories, then chemical and paper factories. Then another one is brick kilns. Okay, what is that? The brick kilns. IL. Okay. See, you have studied, you have seen that brick is used for making wall. No? So this kacha brick will not help. So it has to be cooked. So under that the fire is given. So gaps and all fire is given. So it is burned. So it is called a burned brick. Understood? So this burnt brick, otherwise no kacha brick hoega to break hota hai. So in order to harden it, it is burned. So for that the smoke is given. So that is smoke coming out of that one also gives rise to pollution. Means a thick smoke is. Then another is that the refineries and smelting plants. What is refineries? Oil refineries are there. So whatever is released, that is smoke released from that also cause harm. Then another one is that smelting plant. What is smelting plant? Iron is melted, aluminum is melted and all. So smelting plant से जो smoke आता है, that one. Then burning of fossil fuels. What is fossil fuels? See, actually, directly coal is that fossil, no? So the next one is what you have told is that crude oil. Crude oil, ये refinery में refine हो क्या आता है, फिर petrol, diesel सब. So that also create pollution. Then, what are its effects? See, it affects the health. Affect the health of human beings, animals, plants, See this pollution, how it causes damage. See, you might have heard about that some people are suffering of asthma, wheezing problem, asthma, wheezing problem. So why they are this type of problem give rise to suffocation. So that is how humans are affected. Animals are also getting that kind of problems. That the plants used to get this one. Plants को क्या require होता है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. अगर ये कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कम होके नाइट्रोजन ज्यादा होता है तब प्लांट्स को अफेक्ट होता है. क्या होता है एसिड रेन वगैरह का वो उसका लीव्स ये ग्रीन की जगह येलो हो जाता है. So that you plan it. Then materials, whatever things which we are exposed to it, buildings, we know that जो ताजमहल का भी कलर चेंज होता है, सैंडस्टोन का, रेड सैंडस्टोन का कलर भी चेंज हो जाता है. एटमॉस्फेयर में बहुत इफेक्ट होता है. Okay, that is what smoke we have seen. Understood? Smoke fill होके वो क्या ना मिस्ट का कंडीशन में मिक्स होके एटमॉस्फेयर का विजिबिलिटी भी बहुत सारे एक्सीडेंट्स होता है. ड्राइवर्स को ड्राइव नहीं कर पाता है. So this way atmosphere is affected. Then another thing is that the toxic gas leaks can leave long-term effects. Same, what is that? You have heard about the Bhopal tragedy. So now also in that region, the people are experiencing the effect of it. Chernobyl gas tragedy in Russia. So that, Ukraine, Russia, that time it was not separated. It was the former Soviet Union. So that one, then like that, not only this way, I'll tell you the effect of this one. See, people use pesticides and all that can cause long-term effects to the humans. In Kerala, one part is there, it is very big part having estates. Estate means rubber estates, cashew nut and all. No? So for that, pesticides were used by helicopters or like that. So the people taking birth, children of that region are all affected with so much problems, and they are long-lasting problems. Deformities they are getting by birth itself. They cannot speak, they cannot walk, they cannot do any activity. Autism type, so many type of deformities are there. That particular region, because of the effect of that chemical pesticides used. So like that, there are long-term effects. This one is long-term effect. Got it? Understood clearly about that one? Gas, how air pollution take place. Which are the causes of air pollution? What are its effects? Got it? Now we are moving to the next type of pollution. You have noted down, no? Very bad, no? Whatever it is written on the whiteboard become color boards. That time last week you people only told, no? Me to write with black. I was using blue. So I don't know which class. Somebody told, madam, you try with. I was using blue. It must be not here, I think so. Maybe Sanbala. Somewhere. The children told, I was using that blue. It became very shabby afterwards. I could not write. And you try it. Then afterwards, I was trying it with this black only. Let me see. Okay. Now, what type of pollution we are going to study? Water. How water get polluted? You tell me. So you can say that by the addition of organic and inorganic material. Added in the water. Can you tell what are the organic material? Can you give some example? Yes. Organic. Okay. What is that organic? This materials which are released into the water. We know that sometimes that from the houses,
Washing clothes.
washing clothes are there, soaps and detergents are there. That is inorganic waste. और दूसरा है तो फैक्ट्री से जो रिलीज करता है वो वेस्ट डिस्पोजल ऑफ दैट वेस्ट फ्रॉम फैक्ट्रीज सो ऑल दीज add to that fresh water. So that one, have you seen that it drains? These drains are finally joined to that water body, isn't it? So drains में कौन सा तरफ का materials रहता है? Sometimes if you observe during the rainy season, if there is a manhole opened, through smell is there. If anybody fell into that manhole, they will be seen in the sea only. That much powerful the flow used to be there. So this way, when this materials, organic as well as inorganic material are discharged into the rivers, the water get polluted. When the water get polluted, that affects humans. Again, we take all that pictures, what all are the animals, plants, all the living organisms get affected. So that is why that is how organic and inorganic materials. Now, next one is that fly ash, gypsum. These all are that what is that mining that sites are there. So then another one is iron and steel slag. We वो जो loose material बनाता है, वो भी discharged into that river first, and the river water get polluted. If you take the picture, you can see that only out of the 100% of water, 97 is sea water. 2% only that fresh water in the form of river, lakes, ponds, or whatever it is. 1% is ice places. So, 2% is ice this thing, and 1% only in the form of fresh water. Now, this fresh water, if it is polluted, how can we survive? Recently, I heard from somebody, okay, that Karjat वगैरह तुमने सुना होगा ना? So the fast development building and all, no? So some persons told that in that locality, the water source, main water source is that from this thing, borewell. Borewell means bores are made underground, and so 3 or 4 borewells are there. Out of that, 2 or 3 have dried. Only one is there. So the locality में पानी मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है. So this kind of that condition at present we are facing. So after few years, what will be the relation? Underground water is getting depleted at a very faster rate. And that water also, if we are polluting like this, is there any use? So that is what we have to see. All these things are finally merging with the better fresh water sources and getting it polluted. Fly ash, gypsum. Then what is that? Fly ash is that kind of this thing, ash. So it is produced from that industries only. So what is that after burning? What is the byproduct?
Fly ash is of those HP companies also, right? So HP gas companies.
HP gas companies.
Now they produce fly ash.
That is byproduct, after that. See, many of the industries are very useful for us. It is an index for development, we have studied. But at the same time, the industries are causing harm also. So one side we think only about development. The other side is that is balancing high by giving problem to the humanity. So what we have to do is that we should develop such a system which can balance the development as well as ecosystem. But at present, whatever developmental programs we are taking, it is creating imbalance. We are thinking only about rapid development. This rapid development, we are affecting our or attacking or damaging our own environment. So this is clear to you. Next is principal industries which create water pollution are paper pulp, textiles, chemical petroleum refining, chemical industries, petroleum refining, tannery. What is tannery? Tanning is that the animal skin. It is for that leather making industry. Okay, leather tanners. Then electroplating. What is electroplating? That is, we know that the copper plating is there. That steel के ऊपर एक layer बना. So that is called the electroplating. Okay. They let out dye, detergents, acids, salt, etc. What are things they are releasing? Dye, detergents, acids, salt. Next, heavy metals like lead and mercury. This also they release, that also pollute the water. Then pesticides, fertilizers, synthetic chemicals with the carbon. What all things are there? Pesticides already we have discussed. Then which one you have seen? Fertilizers. Fertilizers are used for agriculture development. I told you, whatever we are using for development can cause harm. Now, you are using that electronic devices for your education purpose. Okay, it was encouraged because of that COVID condition. Now, this encouraged thing is causing harm. The younger generation are addicted to it. Because of that, more of that addiction than less of education. So what is that? Everything when it is too much, it is harmful. So agriculture improve करने के लिए fertilizer use करते हैं. Fertilizer finally along with the rainwater, it percolates under and or both. That is, and it reaches to that fresh water. Or along with the rain directly go to that water, river, isn't it? So use of fertilizer is also one way damaging. Synthetic chemicals. What is synthetic chemical? Man-made chemical. We know that when petroleum is refined, we are getting byproducts. With that, we are making so many things. Paint we are making, varnish we are making clothes, synthetic clothes, nylon, rayon, decron, like that. Synthetic materials we are making. So all these are also causing damage. Okay. Then plastic and rubber. These remains are released to that water bodies. Fly ash, phosphogiston, and iron steel slice, all these things. Now, this water pollution, how it is creating damage to the people. You tell me water. Yes. How? Inadequate drinking water. Water, we are the amount of fresh water is covering. I'm writing here, right? Effects. You write. Okay. So like that, so many causes are coming one after another. We can find the effects of water pollution. Now the third one is thermal pollution. What is thermal pollution? The hot water after the processing is disposed to the fresh water. Huh? Land. अच्छा, land pollution textbook में thermal pollution is given. Okay. I was just taking that textbook, no? So this points are not there, so I gave that. So immediately I came back to them. Okay, land pollution is what? What is land pollution? Landfills are formed. When dumped waste, we used to dump the waste. So what is happening? That land is getting affected by this unwanted material. So that give rise to a lot of problems. So what is happening when this industrial solid waste is added? So उसमें toxic metals भी आता है. ये सब dump करके वो जो land get useless. Okay. Another thing is that already we have discussed about excessive use of fertilizers, pesticides, etc. Also decrease the value or devalue that land. So that is what. Because of that, soil get degraded, then reduces the fertility of the soil, leading to reducing the crop yield. Then harmful chemicals in the soil can enter in the food chain and damage our health. Health get damaged by adding that unwanted things. Yes, clear or not? Now thermal pollution, what is that? Factories after that production activities, hot water is released to that fresh water or that normal water. So the water temperature increases. That causes the death of aquatic ecosystem, including the plants. Okay. Now, waste from nuclear power plants and weapon production units also released. Dumping of waste, especially glass, harmful chemicals, industrial effluents, packaging, salts and garbage renders to soil useless. How can it affect? Already we have seen aquatic life will be affected. Nuclear waste cause cancer, birth defects and miscarriages. What is it? We know that a nuclear power or nuclear plants में से जो heat release होता है, उसका effect we cannot tell. That is, see, we know that radiation you have heard about. So that radiation can cause so much problem, that is deformity of the child when it is born, or otherwise cancers are caused. Then what is that? Miscarriages. What is miscarriages? Abortion. That natural abortion it is. The child, but abortion is like willing to give up to give it. No, that is bird only I told. That way, when the mother loses that child, that is why I told natural. Because that bird I did not get what to do, so that abortion word I use. Aborting the child, that is what abortion. But this child get aborted naturally because of that it cannot hold in that womb of the mother. Okay, got it? Yes. Next one is that pollute soil and contaminated groundwater through percolation of rainwater. The same thing only. Already we have studied. Dumping of all types of chemical waste renders soil useless. So thermal this thing not only water get affected, it also affects that soil and land. That is why together it is. Okay. Now, next one is noise pollution. How can noise be a pollution? Loud music. Okay. See, our eardrum can allow us to hear a normal range. That is maximum 70 decibels we can afford. उससे ज्यादा कोई भी voice also unbearable. Understood? So 70 decibel तक हमको affordable है. So unaffordable voice is called noise pollution. That can be of any sound. Say music is good. So music is good, but if it is loud, it can cause it can affect the eardrum and many other health problems can come. Next, you told in the traffic, horns of the vehicle. Then the bursting of crackers, loud announcements. See, sometimes announcement also cause heart attack. It gives rise to breathlessness. See, suddenly when some sound, when unexpectedly coming, we also make a joke. Because it is unexpected. So it is causing some disturbance to the normal condition. See, in the classrooms, speakers are kept, you know. From office, sometimes announcement comes. If the sound is beyond that absorption, that is that bearable, that whoever hearing can cause. Once it happens, I was teaching long back. One student who was sitting at the back class, it was not like this class, bigger class, but last bench. Suddenly one announcement came. So really what should have happened here only that the speaker was there about me. I was there. But that the sound reaches to that boy, he fainted. So he may not be able to adjust with that sudden. So it was a pollution for him, noise pollution for him. It may not be a noise pollution for others. So heartbeat will increase. Breathlessness will come. So these all are the effects of that unwanted noise. Sometimes some houses that washing machine is having some alarm setting. After completing that process, it can give that alarm. Have you heard about it? So that also can be unbearable for somebody. Mixer grinder, we are using it, but sometimes it can cause some kind of disturbance. I was not using my mixing, I was not using that washing machine that is enough till my son was 5 years old. means that the sound was creating some problem. I found out it was giving some trouble to him. So that is what everyone it may not cause. Some are just keeping that sound, that is plus that ear headphone they are keeping and then dancing, then they are enjoying. Sometimes when we are standing near that big speaker, then some announcement is there, means people used to faint. So this way, unwanted sound can cause damage. It can that affect the brain. It can this thing affect that heartbeat. It can cause breathlessness. It can cause hearing impairment. Nowadays, everywhere the advertisement about that hearing aids का. क्यों? पहले इतना नहीं था. Now, newly born children also could not hear because the mothers might be using that or that headphones and most of. So when the child is taking birth, that it was unbearable for. So like that, so much problems are caused by this unbearable sound, and it is called noise pollution. I told about 70 decibels, no? 80 decibel is the normal, affordable. So prolonged exposure to noise level of 80 decibel or more gradually leads to permanent loss of hearing. So 70 decibel only permissible. That is what I told correctly. So more than that much continuously when you are experiencing, it can cause a hearing loss, create nervous tension. People get a tension, that is some kind of this thing, unaffordable way some people used to behave. You might not have noticed because some people who are that is during that assembly time because of the noise some used to get fainted. Why? For them the noise is unbearable. So everyone has certain capacities, the other person may not be affected. Now, another thing is results in irritation and anger. This you might have seen or not. See? Get irritated and get angry. So sometimes we may be talking normally, but somebody feel that because they cannot bear that sound. Sometimes teachers' voice appears to be screaming. Because the affordability is less. Sometimes you know that children, when they are making little bit noise, also teachers are getting annoyed. Why? Because everyone's little voice will make a big sound in the class. So that all things are giving, that is irritation and anger, hearing impairment, increased heart rate, blood pressure also increased, and other physiological effects. Physiological means in the appearance that problems are coming. Then unwanted sound is an irritant and a source of stress. Sometimes that for the person who is making may not be. But those who are hearing find it very difficult. It is an irritant for them. So that is why it gives rise to stress to the person. So when you people, that when you are in the class, when teachers are continuously telling that the same thing in a shouting way, you feel irritated and angry. Means it is causing some irritation. You are thinking like that on the other side, the teacher is also. Sometimes you are having, that is 50 students or 60 students in the class. On the other side, one person is experiencing that. So, I used to think that I am like that making lottery. I'm not shouting, scolding and all, but voice used to come. Earlier, I was not having this much loud voice. I never felt that I am making loud voice. But automatically teaching for a long time, something used to come. So, what happened? It create, the unwanted sound creates stress to the people. That is why sometimes the teachers are getting irritated. Means it is sometimes giving stress to the people. So I think you understood about the noise pollution. Now we are moving to how to control environmental degradation. Up to what time? 12:30. 12:30, no? Because I have to complete and afterwards print it. This one is geography, print is history. You brought what next? Textbook. Textbook only. Okay, let's see. We'll manage. What is the how to control environmental degradation? Okay, so if we are talking about that is about the pollution of all types, everything have different ways of clearing, or that is reducing that. So let's see that it's causing so much problem to me. So how can we reduce control pollution or environmental damage? So first let us take that water. How water pollution can be controlled. Say you have seen rivers. When the rivers are flowing, these rivers having a natural cleansing capacity. It clean itself. But nowadays, the amount of pollution is that much, so the rivers cannot clean itself. That is why you have heard about a Ganga action plan or Vimina action plan and all the government have introduced. So natural cleansing capacity. Now you see that how much oil is added. Can you remove oil? No. So if freshwater oil is released, it's very difficult. So like that, the pollutant, the amount of pollution is so many times more than its cleansing capacity. But some steps are being used for cleaning that water or to minimize it. What are they? The first one is that reusing, recycling in 2 or more successive stages. So, recycling of water in 2 stages. After one stage, again. Then we can reuse it. So that is one of the method. Reusing and recycling in 2 or successive methods. Next is, so you understood, no, the first one. Second, harvesting rainwater. See, this water which is already polluted is to be recycled and then use it further. That is one solution. Second solution is that the rainwater to be harvested. There are different methods of harvesting rainwater because we get water only through rainfall. So maximum water to be collected and stored during the rainy season instead of allowing it to go and join the sea. We know that most of the water is just flowing to the sea. Now, this water can be collected and stored and not allow it to flow to the sea. So that is what the rainwater harvest. Got the point? Now the third point is treating hot water with effluents before releasing them into the river. So what is that? The third one is that hot water to be treatment of hot water. फिर रिलीज करने के पहले ट्रीटमेंट करने का उसका 3 टाइप का ट्रीटमेंट होता है. What are the this treatment? One is primary treatment. See, what are the methods? One is primary treatment by mechanical methods. So ये फ्रेश वाटर में रिलीज करने के पहले ट्रीटमेंट करने का उसके लिए 3 मेथड्स है. वन इज प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट. दिस प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट इज बाय मैकेनिकल मीन्स दैट इज screening, grinding, flocculation and sedimentation. Screening, grinding, See, ये वाटर ये स्क्रीन करने का उसका कितना इम्प्यूरिटीज है, स्क्रीन करके आइडेंटिफाई करने का। और ग्राइंडिंग मतलब बड़ा बड़ा क्वांटिटीज रहेगा तो उसको स्मॉल स्मॉल करने का, ग्राइंड करने का। फ्लोकुलेशन allow to flow and by obstructing its flow a kind of filtration is there. Fourth is sedimentation. You have seen that the sediments get deposited. When you might have seen some kind of things which we can purchase. Two parts are there. That is from that upper part it is coming down. That your things will come. Funnel. It is that means showpiece type only. The sand. So two this thing pieces are there. One part is coming and falling slowly, and deposit in the down part. The same way, the sediments that is from the there's one, two vessels are captured, and you told me like that a funnel like small funnel type is captured, and the water with the sediments is kept on the top, and after filtering the water, the fresh part is coming to the lower vessel. So it is then the sand gets settled down. During the rainy season in village areas, the people used to collect rainwater. This rainwater, when they are collecting, it is having so many things. So not only that, after some time when it is kept without disturbing, that particles used to settle down. The same way, this unwanted things are settling down. That process is called a sedimentation. So you got a screening to identify the particles, and grinding is to make it small. Then flocculation allowed to flow, and then settle that unwanted things, and fresh water will be allowed to flow. Sedimentation is also allowing that the sediments to settle. Got it? These all things are coming in which method? Primary treatment. Now we are coming to the secondary treatment. It is a biological method. See, if that plants are planted on its way, what is that this water is allowed to flow, the roots of that plants will filter it. That is what the biological method. Understood? So when the water is flowing, the roots of the plants make that impurities to be filtered and captured, and the water will go further. So this method is called a secondary or biological method. Mangroves, see actually mangrove is a particular variety of plant which can survive in that fresh water and salt. So in that part, what is that? It is what is marshy type is formed. That can also be, but otherwise also some plants are having the capacity to. Okay, secondary method is clear. Now tertiary method, biological, chemical and physical process. All three processes are coming in tertiary method. What is that? Biological, chemical, and physical. It involves recycling of wastewater. Wastewater recycled. You might have seen in different places recycling plants are. That means that what water comes from that drainage is collected and recycled. So that is involving which all the processes? Biological, chemical, and physical. Okay. Then, what are the other methods? Overdrawing of groundwater reserves by industry where there is a threat to groundwater resources also needs to be regulated. Regulate the overdrawing of groundwater. That is another method. I have told about in Karjat that the groundwater is drawn to the maximum. Because of that only underground aquifers got dried up. So this to be regulated, then we can reduce that water pollution. Got it? Next one is that particulate matter in the air can be reduced by fitting smokestacks to factories with electrostatic precipitators, fabric filters, and scrubbers, and inertial separators. So these are the devices which are used to control that air pollution. You might have seen the factories are having big stacks on the heights it is going, and the smoke is released to upper atmosphere, and after that height it is going. So it is not giving pollution to that locals. So that is one. Another thing is that use of devices like electrostatic precipitators. That means absorb that unwanted what is that contents. Okay. That is a device used in the factories to absorb the unwanted and release only that wanted things. Okay. Then what is that? Fabric filters. What is fabric? Cloth. So we know that the dyes are released. That causes that pollution. So filter करके fabric filter use करने का. Then scrubbers. What is that? Scrubbing purpose. What is that? It is also a kind of absorber. Okay, absorbing that unwanted material. Then inertial separators. That means in smoke absorbers, and this one is separated and only that much amount is released. Means avoid that air pollution, water pollution from happening. Then it also includes some devices to control that noise pollution. Earlier in every factories, they used to have sirens. These sirens also cause big noise. So that kind of noise pollution can be controlled by using certain devices. So everything is that unwanted things to be reduced and leave that much amount or release that much amount which can be acceptable to the set kind of devices to be used. Next one is that smoke can be reduced by using oil or gas instead of coal in the factories. We know that when coal burns, smoke comes. So in the place of coal, what to be used? Oil or gas. So that way also we can reduce pollution. Machinery and equipment can be used and generators too should be fitted with silencers. You might have heard the sound of some bike without silencers. Oh, what a horrible to say. Sometimes in the night, this night riders are there. I'm not talking about night riders by the team. I am talking about those who are enjoy driving with this horrible sound disturbs that peace. So that people should use silencers so that sounds will not disturb that. Next is that machinery can be redesigned to increase energy efficiency. See, earlier, most of the four-wheelers and all were using what things they were using, petrol or diesel. Now, many engines are redesigned using gas, CNG. Okay, so what is happening that engine cannot use that gas all of a sudden. So they have redesigned to use that one gas instead of water, petrol or diesel, which cause pollution. So energy conserving or energy efficient machines to be designed. You have heard of some advertisement, some fans are there. Fans may also energy controlling. On advertisement, I have seen that ये तो तुम लोग ने जो कुछ किया है गलत किया है इसलिए तुम्हारा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल इतना कम आता है because and the people are telling that no, it is energy consuming the conserving device is there in the fan. That is why we are not doing any wrong things. So like that, what is that? Energy efficient devices to be used. Noise absorbing material may be used apart from personal use of earplugs and earphones. अभी तुमको जो ज्यादा आवाज चाहिए तो तुम लोग तो तुम्हारा पर्सनल ईयरप्लग्स और ईयरफोन्स यूज करो बाकी के लिए वो नॉर्मल वॉइस में ये कर लेंगे ओके did you understand that much now we are going to see a small this thing sustainable development in the first lesson of geography you have studied about sustainable development. What is sustainable development? That is the plus one more thing is that without damaging the environment. Understood that? So our environment should not get damaged. Here also it comes. So development should take place without damaging or without giving problem to our environment. So that is what another solution, that is sustainable development. Then here shows one part NTPC, National Thermal Power Corporation. What are the steps taken by this National Thermal Power Corporation to protect the environment and continue the development? Okay, you just read it. NTPC steps, 5 steps are taken. 1 or 2 years I have seen 5 mark question. for this. Okay. 5 points are. Ash pond means when coal is burned, ash will be there. No? This is collected in that ponds that is separate thing, and that ashes are used for plants. Plant means trees or like that. No.
How will it be good for the plants?
Yes, ashes. Earlier times, agriculture when the people are doing, what they used to do is they used to pile up that leaves and all those things and burn it. Then this ashes used to spread. It is very useful because it contains so many useful things. So it is an organic type of manure. So that way, this ashes, if it is used for that trees around it, the trees will go nicely. Then that can absorb that unwanted that pollutant, and it give rise to or releases oxygen. So like that, very carefully planned and designed work.
Ash water recycling.
That only when we know that when the factory release that byproducts, no, in that ashes of the thermal power corporation में क्या होता है thermal heat producing by using the coal. So after this thing, then a mixture of this thing ash and water comes. So this water have to be that mixed with that have to be recycled. And the recycled thing that is we get that water for one use, ash for another use. So there is no waste. One advantage, and the materials we get as waste is used for something. See, the main aim is that optimum utilization of equipment, adopting the latest techniques, and upgrading existing equipment. Okay? Optimum, maximum utilization of the equipment, but at the same time, what is that techniques to upgrade? Next is that minimizing waste generation and maximizing ash utilization. Waste to be minimized, less waste to be produced, and maximum utilization of ash. Then providing green belt, I have told you trees and plants for nurturing ecological balance and addressing the question of special purpose vehicles for afforestation. Afforestation के लिए special vehicles design किया. Then, because NTPC is not a small area, so many hectares of land is there. So for that purpose, how these all things can be managed, so specially designed reducing environmental pollution through
Those vehicles plant trees, those vehicles which they design, they plant trees.
plant trees, but taking care of that region, they have to develop different methods, no? Just see, NTPC factories are there, industry using coal. Understood? So large area is there. So for that, the plantation of regularly they have to plant new trees and take care of that trees, reach everywhere with this ash, water, all the things. So that is what vehicles, special vehicles designed for doing it. Ash cannot be, that is human beings removing that ash and putting, no. For this tree purpose, planting the trees, taking care of the trees, and using that ashes to as manures. The water which is used to be what is that, recycled to be used for that trees, all those things special. Ash pond management, I have told you. Ash water recycling, I have told you. Liquid waste management. We know that from every factory, liquid waste are there. Maybe organic waste or inorganic waste. So this waste to be managed properly. So for that, we know that refining purpose is required. Instead of draining out into the outlet, that is water outlet, here itself, that premises itself maximum utilized. Understood? Then ecological monitoring, that is monitor the ecology, reviews an online database. Okay? जो पूरा ऑब्जर्व करके मॉनिटर करके क्या प्रॉब्लम है वो करेक्ट भी करना so that is what database management for all its power stations. NTPC different places thermal power stations are national thermal power stations. So it is mostly in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, that belt, Jordan Plateau, we have seen industrial wells are there. So all the national thermal power stations का database collect करके उधर नया suggestion देने का, improvement basic करने का, इसलिए उसको ISO standard मिला. Okay. Now, homework. First, distinguish between on page number 172 with examples it is given, so it will be easy for you. Right. Then this is NCERT questions. This solved questions, page 176, 177. Given you have to. MCQs, fill in the blanks, true or false, assertion reasoning. That anyhow you have to say. Now, question, big question answer I did not give you till now. That much.
लग गया my god that's interaction
आपने ऐसे पढ़ा है अगर कुछ
anything